Facebook ads. I love to talk about and learn about Facebook ads. Actually, one of the first courses that I created was a course called Ads Made Easy, and it was all about Facebook ads. And it is still one of the things that I just absolutely love getting my hands in so much, but it's also so freaking confusing. Like if you open up the ads manager, you're gonna be like, your eyes are gonna go crazy because Facebook ads can be a beast. But today, we're gonna bring you a beginner's guide to Facebook ads. And I'm gonna pass the mic off to Ashley Braswell, who is an expert in all things Facebook ads. She's a freaking rock star. She knows her stuff, and she's going to blow your freaking mind and show you how easy Facebook ads can be so that you can get started with them ASAP.
Raise your hand if you have ever been personally victimized by the Meta platform. Okay, so Facebook ads are an amazing, amazing thing. They're also have the stigma of being complicated and hard and expensive and just all the bad things too. But I'm here to tell you today that Facebook ads do not have to be scary or complicated or expensive. There's actually an easier way to get started with Facebook ads that's not going to cost you a ton of money and will also save your sanity. So first of all, hey, I'm Ashley. I'm from the Paid Ad Academy, and I am super excited to be here. Jessica, thank you so much for sharing this platform with me. I've been following you for forever, so this is kind of a big deal, and I'm really excited about it. So I just want to say, first of all, when it comes to Facebook ads, there's a few things that you need to know about. First of all, why are we even doing Facebook ads? Like, why Facebook? Does it still work? I know that there's a lot of talk about iOS changes and privacy laws and stuff like that. And it did take a hit on Facebook ads, but I'm here to tell you, I do this full time. I just brought my sister on full time with me. We run ads for companies, but then we're also just started a platform on teaching people how to run their own ads. And it's very much still an alive part of the online business world. And Facebook ads are still working. So you just have to do things a little bit different now, but that's okay because I think in a lot of ways it's actually starting to become a little bit easier to run Facebook ads. So you're new, that's good news for you. So the first thing you want to do when you kind of dive into the Facebook ads platform is you want to set up your business manager. So when you go on Facebook, what you're going to go to first is business.facebook.com/settings. Okay, so once you're in the Facebook ad business settings platform, if you already have your business manager set up, you're going to select your business right there. If you don't have it set up, then all you have to do is click the blue create a business button and it will take you to your business settings, let you go through all the steps and all the things. So once you get into your business settings, then you're going to go on the left side, you're going to see all these different tabs you can have. So you've got users, you've got accounts, you've got data sources, brand safety and suitability, and then there's various other things below that. The first ones I want you to look at are people. So you want to make sure that you have yourself on there as well as someone else as a backup, just in case you ever lose access for whatever reason. It's just really good practice to do it that way. Then you're going to go to your pages, and under your pages, you want to make sure that you have your Facebook business page set up with that. Then you're going to go under ad accounts. If you have an ad account, it should be listed here. If it's not listed here, you can either create one or you can request access to an ad account. Now, best practice is to have the same ad account like living in your business manager, but there are all kinds of workarounds inside of Facebook and Business Manager. So if it's not exactly the way I'm saying it, it could still be right. Feel free to reach out to me too on Instagram at the Paid Ad Academy. I'm always happy to help walk people through because I know this can be kind of complicated, especially if it's like you set one thing up and then you set another thing up and there's like all the things. So, okay, then you're going to go to Instagram accounts and you want to add your Instagram business or creator account, not a personal account. You want to make sure it's either business or creator so that you have access to all the pieces you need to have access to. Then under data sources, you're going to look at pixels or data sets. So a Facebook pixel is basically just a little piece of code that Facebook creates for you. You copy it and then you paste it onto your website header. So there's a lot of videos out there about how to do that specifically for your website, whether it's Squarespace or Showit or Wix or WordPress or FG Funnels or ClickFunnels or like whatever it is. There's all kinds of videos about how to do it specifically for your business. But right now, Facebook has moved all the pixels to data sets. Yours might still show under pixels, so you kind of have to be willing to look in both places. If you don't have one, all you're going to do is create one, and then you're going to add it in there. So no biggie. It's totally easy to do, and Facebook will walk you through it so that you can just copy it and paste it in, and it's all good, okay? Then you want to go down to brand safety and suitability, and under domains, you want to make sure you add your domain and then verify it. So like Jessica's account, I'm pretty sure it's like heyjessica.com maybe. Yeah, it was. heyjessica.com. So Jessica's already has her pixel installed. She actually has 2 different pixels installed, and you can check it by downloading this little app called the Meta Pixel Helper. And so what you want to do is make sure that your domain is verified. It's very similar to the Pixel in that it's just a tiny piece of code that you copy and paste into your website. The domain verification, you just copy that verification code, paste it, and then you hit the verify button. And that's what's going to allow Facebook to really like send and receive information back and forth from your website. So very good practice to go ahead and get that set up right at the beginning so you don't have to worry about it again. And you do have to set it up for every domain. So like Jessica has Hey Jessica, but if she were to decide to sell something else and name it like Jessica's Digital Products or Jessica's YouTube, whatever, like she would have to also verify that domain as well. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so those are the main things that you need to set up before you start running ads. Again, if you get stuck, don't let it hold you back. Just come over to the Paid Ad Academy on Instagram, or you can find us on our website, and I'm more than happy to help you. So don't let yourself get like stay in the stuck right there. So get that stuff set up, and then I'm going to talk to you about the specific kind of campaign that's really easy, and I think like the number one campaign for everybody to start with. So that campaign is the Better Boost campaign. We like to name things over here. And so what this basically is an engagement campaign. So when you get into Ads Manager, there are 3 ways to access Ads Manager. Well, there's probably more than 3, but these are the 3 main ones that I tell people. So the first way is when you're in your business settings and you see that account on the left says add account. Click on that. It should take you to your Ads Manager account. If it doesn't show like 3 different tabs, if it looks more like white boxes with stuff inside of it, then what you can do is you just need to click create campaign. It should be like a blue or a green button in the top right corner. Then you're just going to put something random in there. It doesn't really matter because we're not publishing it. You're going to say create, and then you're going to hit the gray X button, and it'll take you to where it has the 3 tabs. So what you should see is something that looks kind of like a Google sheet or a spreadsheet, and it's going to say campaigns, ad sets, and ads, and it has the 3 different tabs. So when it comes to the Ads Manager setup, I'm going to take you through a little tour. Okay, so this is Ads Manager, and this is what it looks like inside. And you can see here that there's 3 different tabs: campaign, ad set, and ads. So the campaign level, it's almost like if you think about it like folders on your desktop, the campaign level would be the folder that's on your desktop. And then you click into it and you can see multiple folders inside of it. And those are your ad set levels. Then if you click into one of your ad set levels, you can see all the ads underneath that. And that would be like all your, JPEGs or documents or whatever, right? So it's 3 different levels. One campaign. You can also think of it like a bracket, kind of like March Madness or something. If you're into basketball or football, whatever sports brackets, you could look at it like a sideways bracket. And so it's got campaign and then breaks down to the ad sets where you have the different targeting, locations, budgets, all that kind of stuff. And then underneath of each ad set, you can have all your different ads underneath it there. So when it comes to Facebook ads, I will say there's a lot of different ways that you can set them up. And a lot of people are going to tell you different things and different strategies. There's not one right way to run Facebook ads. There are multiple ways that you can run them and still make money. Just like there's lots of different ways that you can have a business and still make money. So I don't want you to get too hung up on like all the differing voices that you will hear in the ad world, because you will. The way I teach is I try to make things simple and efficient and make sure that you feel competent, like you are confident and you can go and make your ads and get stuff out in the world and just like start things moving and grooving. And then you can get more complicated with your ad strategy as you learn and become more comfortable. So to start with, what I'm going to teach you is an engagement ad. So what you're going to do is you're going to click this little green button up here in the corner. It might be blue. Facebook likes to change things around. So like, don't freak out if yours doesn't look exactly like mine. You can still find the buttons. I have faith in you. So you're going to want to go over to, and we're just going to ignore this because this is like my little demo account, right? So in yours, it shouldn't say this. But if it does, you just are going to click it and you fill out the information. Facebook does a really good job of telling you when they need things from you. So if you run into problems, most of the time you can just follow the directions and you'll be okay. So we're creating this engagement account and we're going to click this button right here. we're going to go down. I like to go ahead and name mine. So I name mine the Paid Ad Academy, type whatever kind of campaign it is, and I'm going to do an engagement campaign. And then I put in what kind of audience I'm doing. So for this one, I want us to do a cold audience, aka people who have never heard from us before. And then the type of offer or ad we're going to do. So I like existing posts for this one. So this is going to be cold one, and we'll change that later. And this will be ad one, and we'll change that later. But I like to have a little thing there. Now it's going to sometimes pop up right here asking you if you want to do one of their like template things. You do not. You want to do a manual setup because Facebook likes to get wonky sometimes, and I just don't trust it. And the best results I've seen have been doing a manual setup in this way. So that's what I'm going to teach you. So when you're going down, most of this stuff is going to be left just as is. So auction, engagement, no A/B test, no advantage campaign budget, leave it all off. Then we're going to go to the ad set level, and this is where we're going to make our choices for how people are going to interact with the ad, what we want from the ad, who's going to see it, how much money we're going to spend on it, all the good stuff. So we're going to go down here, we're going to click on your ad. Just means we want people to engage with the actual ad itself. Unless it's a video, I'm going to click post engagements. If it's a video, you could do video views, and then maximize engagement with a post. All the rest of that stays as is. And then my daily budget for this guy, I like to do $5. Best practice is to start this a day after you create it, so 24 hours later. And now we get into the juicy parts where we're going to create our audience. So let me talk to you a little bit about audience targeting. So it used to be on Facebook that you would get really, really granular with your targeting. And so if I was targeting, like, let me just give you an example. Let's say I was going to target moms, since this is for Jessica, let's say moms who live in the Carolinas and are really into like agriculture, and maybe they also really love sports, right? Like, let's say I'm just going to target Jessica. Okay. So let's just say that's what I'm going to do. Then I would go through here and be like, okay, I want Jessica Stansberry and all people who are just like her. How do I reach them? Well, maybe I want them all over the United States, not just in North Carolina. I want them to be, like in the Midwest and anywhere where people are into this kind of stuff. So then what I would probably do back in the day, what I would pick female, I put my ages in. For detailed targeting, I would probably put in like agriculture, farming, and then I want it to be cute too. So I might put in like sports stuff plus like maybe Target, and to kind of go down this rabbit hole, right, of trying to build out this persona of who these people are to be able to reach them. Well, it's not like that anymore, actually. Facebook has made it so much easier for us. Now they really want us to get a huge, broad audience, which just means like 20, 30 million plus, and let them, aka Facebook, let them make the decision on who they're going to show the ad to by using their AI to comb through our copy and our creative. And as scary as that sounds, like, oh, I have to just trust Facebook's going to find my people, it works. Let me tell you, it works. So what we're doing over at the Paid Ad Academy is we always test a fully broad audience, which just means exactly as it stands right here. We do pick our locations countrywide. So if you're a digital product shop and you sell to more than just the United States, you could put in Canada, Australia, anywhere that's English speaking, honestly, because if it's not English speaking, you're going to have to switch out your copy to make sure that it makes sense for the language. So I typically try to stay within English speaking countries, but most of the time I just do United States and Canada. And then ages, I leave wide open. Genders, I leave wide open too, even though I personally target only women. Not that I only work with women, but that's just like, my brand's pink and orange and like Mean Girls themed. So it's pretty female based. And so mostly it's just women that come to us, but I still leave genders open because Facebook will use the algorithm to go in and find the women inside of that. So that's broad, fully broad. I like to have 3 different kinds of categories. So for business to business, so if I were going to be like Jessica and I'm going to sell digital products, right? Then I would be targeting entrepreneurship as an interest, so maybe like creative entrepreneurship, and a couple different things that are all about entrepreneurship. Get it over 30, 40, 50 million people in that audience. Then I'm also going to target public figures. So typically when I'm targeting public figures for entrepreneurship circles, it's going to be people like, I normally start with Amy Porterfield. I just love Amy Porterfield, but it's like Amy Porterfield, Marie Forleo, Gary Vaynerchuk, Brendon Burchard. I just go down that list. So the easiest way to actually do that, and let me just show you over here, is you start typing Amy Porterfield, right? And she pops up. And then you click suggestions. And look at that. Now you've got all these suggestions. So you pick people who make sense for you. So again, Marie Forleo, Brendon Burchard, Gary Vaynerchuk, So even if we just did those 4 right there, on the right-hand side, you can see that it's 28 to 33 million people inside this audience. So that's honestly enough. You could just leave it like that. If you want to add more people, you could, like Robert, he's the Rich Dad Poor Dad author, and you could just kind of like go through here. What you have to be careful with is, let's say you picked Brene Brown, right? Well, Brene Brown is not just for business owners. Brene Brown is like covers a whole scope of people who are interested in a bunch of different things. So if you're trying to sell a business product, Brene Brown might not be your audience. I mean, she could be, but she could also not be. So you have to be like a little bit careful there. So this is what I would do for public figures. Now let me go ahead and show you what I would do for softwares. So it's going to be entrepreneurship as an interest, public figures, and then we're going to do softwares. So softwares is going to be stuff like Squarespace. So you just start typing it and then it'll pop up if it's available. Not everything's available. Click suggestions, and then look, now we've got all these different softwares that business owners in general might use. So you just go through here and pick what makes sense for your business until you get over here on the right side, over 20 to 30 million. And that's a pretty big broad audience that you can feel comfortable going into. And so that's how you test audiences. You're going to create the first one. So the first one I like to have is broad, so I just leave it as is. And up here at the top, I just write broad. Then you're going to go to your ad level. You're going to make sure your Facebook page and your Instagram account are correct, which those were not, but you're going to make sure they're correct for you. You're going to scroll down and you're going to select your post. So you can select anything that you want from Instagram or Facebook. I like to select things that are going to make sense when a cold audience sees it. So while maybe like your pregnancy announcement, let's say, got incredible like organic reach on your Instagram, that doesn't really make sense for people who are cold, never heard from you before. Like they're not, I mean, not to be mean, but they're just not going to care really. And that's not the kind of ad that's going to pull them to your account and make them follow you. So what would pull them to your account and have them follow you would be like educational pieces, or maybe it's a hot, spicy take on something in your industry, or maybe it's like introducing yourself or your business and why it's different, like what sets you apart from your competitors or how you help people. So you have to come at it from the brain space of, okay, what posts have I made that have done well and or make the most sense to go to a cold audience. And if you don't have anything, that's okay. You can still post something and then go back and use it. Sometimes people come to me and they're like, I hate Instagram. I wish I had a penny for every time someone said that to me because I would be so rich. Yeah, if you hate Instagram and you don't really like posting, there's a couple different things you can do. One of them is a 9-grid strategy, which I'm pretty sure Jessica has this in her shop, but it's basically just like 9 posts that all go together, and it's just basically like a landing page for your Instagram. And it just gives it a look of professionalism so that you don't have to be always posting on Instagram. So I know people that will put a 9-grid in place and then they will only be active via stories or reels. And that's totally fine, but you can use ads to promote. Well, you can use ads to promote your reels, but you can also use ads to promote that 9-grid, because if you get really strategic about it and you're like, well, here's my introduction, here's my post I'm going to make about my lead magnet, here's this, just post it all in one day, like who cares, and then run ads to it for $5 a day, grow your Instagram on autopilot, and then be selling in your stories and your reels or doing whatever it is you need to do for your specific business. So that is an option. I like that. If you are posting, but you just don't have things you feel like are good for ads, you can do like a 3 pin strategy where it's just those 3 at the top. That's another way of doing things. So once you have the post that you want to run ads to selected, then you're going to make sure your website events is turned on. And that is how you track things if they go to your website or whatever. That's the pixel we talked about before. And then if you want to make more ads, you just hit duplicate, and then you can use existing posts, select another post, and you can do this for as many ads as you want, as many posts as you want. I like 2 or 3, so you have some options in there for people. But I probably wouldn't go above like 4. I feel like that's a lot to start out with. So somewhere between 2 to 4 is like the sweet spot. Then if you want to test audiences, you're like, okay, well, I'm not sure if broad audiences are going to do good, or if, the entrepreneurship audience or whatever, right? You just go up here to these 3 dots and you're going to click duplicate, original campaign, duplicate, and it's going to make it inside of that campaign. So remember, you have your folder on your desktop and then there's multiple folders inside of it. You just made another folder inside of it. And when you did that, you copied over also the ads that were already inside. So that way you don't have to go back in and add the ads too. You just have to do the audience. So now we just go down here and now we can do our actual audience. So you can either go into detailed targeting and go ahead and start just like building it out, or if you saved the audiences before, then you can find them here. So those are a couple options for you for your very first ad campaign. It is $5 per ad set. So if you're stressed about money and you're like, I can't spend, what is that? If it's it'd be $300 a month. If you're like, that's too much, that's totally fine. Just start with a broad audience, honestly. Just start there and let Facebook see what happens. Now, the numbers you're going to be looking for, if you go over to back over here to where you're seeing like the spreadsheet type thing. Now, remember, this is like a demo account, okay? So there's no info in here. But what you're looking for is cost per page engagement. So you click this little button here and you go down to customize columns. And when you click that, Facebook opens up all these things. This is literally all the stuff that they track. So the one that you want to make sure is selected, if you scroll down, is page engagement and cost per page engagement, because those are the two you're going to be looking at for this specific type of campaign. So I like to make it into a preset. So you just click that button down there at the left, and then you can label it whatever you want and hit apply. And that way you don't have to do this every time. So once you do that, it'll pop up when you're looking at it, and then you can go over here and look at page engagement and cost per page engagement. So just so you know for numbers what to look at, the industry averages, like the benchmarks for online educators and people who are selling digital products and things like that for page engagement is anywhere from 0.005 cents to like 2 to 3 cents per page engagement. I really like to see it under a cent, but I don't turn ads off for page engagement unless it's over 2 or 3 cents. So just so you have like some benchmarks to kind of look at. And I like to look at it on a weekly basis. If you start changing your Facebook ads around too much, then the algorithm doesn't have a chance to get in there and really like dig through those audiences you gave them and find your people. So when you first put your ads up, the cost is going to be a little higher, and then it should slowly start to trend down over the next like week or so. So don't go in there and be making changes every single day. Give it some time to actually do the learning and seeing what's up inside of the Facebook ad platform. And then it should get better and better. So hopefully this is helpful. I'm really pumped for you guys because these types of ads will get you just thousands and thousands of new people looking at your stuff and coming and engaging in different ways. And I feel like that's a really good deal for $150 a month if you're spending $5 a day. So that's why I like to call it creating your own big break, because you're getting in front of people and you're not waiting around for someone to just come upon your things. You're like, hey, my stuff's good. It needs to be seen. And you're putting it out there in the world. So I am super pumped for you guys. I cannot wait to see the ads that you put out there. If you have any questions, please feel free to find me on the Paid Ad Academy. But make sure you subscribe to Jessica's channel for more ways to grow your business, because she is so smart and has personally impacted me in my business over the years. And I know that she has so much to offer for you guys as well. Thanks so much, and I can't wait to see you next time.